welcome to another episode of the Red Bull Matchbox Race 2020. Yet again we have another qualifying ahead of us, this time drawing from Vehicle Group 2. Here is a look at the event course, a ridgeline road track full of twists and turns. A racer's time will begin when their vehicle passes the start line here, and the clock stops when their vehicle emerges from the tunnel in the final straight. Here's our opening lineup. This being such a technical course, these drivers will each have 6 chances to make it down the course once. Once a driver has succeeded, they will have unlimited chances to make it a second time, but the first success must come in the first 6 attempts. A vehicle that cannot make it down in 6 attempts will be marked with a DNF and will not move forward. Without further ado, here's our first driver. The first of our 15 drivers today is Roma Plummer in a Tommaso Pantera GTS. They were unable to complete the course, so we're taking a look at runs number 1 and 6. It looks like they just didn't have the speed or control necessary to make it down that second straight and around the corner. Our next driver is Samir Allison in a Dodge Charger SRT8. Samir was able to make it down in run number 2. Looks relatively quick, and straight down the final straight until that flashy little drift at the very end. Let's take a look at their 5th run. Ooh, they got out of control around the second corner and finished the race backwards. Their first run of 4:26, very respectable time, will be the one that they're happy with. Next up we have Yusuf Lester in a Jaguar XJ220. Let's take a look at their 4th run. Looks smooth and sinuous, but not particularly fast, but they made it down in consecutive runs. Once again looks a little bit slow, but they make it all the way down, facing the right direction. And they do break the 5-second mark with a 4:52. It's not going to get them in the top 10, but I think they'll be happy with that. Our next driver is Ishal Chester, driving a Lamborghini. This is one of the older cars in our competition. They were unable to finish the course. And I think we can see why. Simply does not have the speed to make it round that second corner. Our second DNF of the night. Our next driver is Abby Estee, driving a 1980 Corvette. This vehicle looks very good for being manufactured in 1981, and they made it down in the first try. They made it down quickly in the first try. A little bit of a drift going into the second corner and through the final tunnel, but I think that'll be a pretty quick run. Run number 4. Once again quite quick, but slow out of the second corner, and the first run will have to stand as their qualifying time. However, their first time was 4:32, which will definitely satisfy Abby Estee. Our next driver is Benedict Valencia, driving a Porsche Boxster, a beat-up Porsche Boxster. They made it down, however, in their first run. Looks a little bit ponderous going down the course this first attempt, and they went a little bit wonky through the final tunnel, which will probably affect their time. It took them until run 7 to complete the course a second time. This run looks smoother and faster until the final tunnel, when once again they go into the wall a couple of times. The first run of 5:13 will stand as their qualifying time. Our next driver is Christy Ahmed, driving a Ford GT90. This is, I believe, the only Road Champs manufactured vehicle in our competition. Let's take a look at their run. Looks relatively fast, but into the wall and turned around in the final tunnel, that will affect their time pretty negatively. Let's take a look at their next run. Looks once again quick, but somehow they got turned around there, maybe over the cliff drop. And a 4:48 will stand as their qualifying time. Our next driver is Rihanna Knucklehead Mackenzie, driving in a Vancouver Canucks branded Hummer HX concept. They were unable to complete the course in tragic fashion. Look at that spin. So we have our third DNF of the night. Our next driver, Mariana Croft, is kind of just here for shits and giggles, driving an International 5088 tractor. They were unable to complete the course. Has decent speed going down the opening straight, but just too unwieldy to get round a single corner. Our second DNF in a row. Unfortunately for the excitement factor of this video, Alexi Morris in a Jaguar XK8 with a moderately concerning issue is our third driver in a row unable to complete the course. That is a tragic flip in a convertible. In their sixth run, they got so very near the final straight, but tragically, they were unable to reach it. Our next driver is Homer Pace, driving a Tesla Roadster. Just gonna take this moment to say F Elon Musk. Homer Pace shows us again why wild abandon and speed will not complete the course for you. Very fast down the straight and around the corner, but simply does not have the control to make it all the way down. Fourth DNF in a row. Hopefully our next driver, Haroon Woodward in a Ford Focus, will break this awful streak. And indeed they do. They make it down in the first run. Let's take a look, a little bit ponderous, and finishing the course very slowly, facing the wrong direction. Hopefully they do better in run 9. They've certainly had enough practice. It's definitely looking better, very smooth and very fast through that second corner. Hopefully that turnaround in the final tunnel won't negatively affect their time. And no indeed, a 4:34. I believe that's our fastest time by a Matchbox manufactured vehicle. Our next driver is Ashwin Hayworth in a Toyota Supra Turbo, with a very bold paint job. They made it down in their first attempt. Very slow going into the first corner, rocky over the cliff drop, but smooth through the rest of the course. Hopefully they do better in the second run. That's a great sign. A little bit better through there, a little bit faster through there, but into the wall in the final tunnel. A 5:09 will have to satisfy Ashwin Hayworth. Our next driver, Pig McCracken, is often asked whether his parents did actually name him Pig, to which he responds, "Yes, I was literally born to be a police officer." Pig was unable to complete the course. And yet another DNF on the night. Our next driver is Magdalena Beck, driving a Porsche Carrera. They made it down in run number 5. Looking very slow through the first corner, and slow through the rest of the course. It took them until run number 10 to complete the course a second time. This run looks a little bit faster than the first, but neither time impresses. Here's our qualification standings top 10. Samir Allison in the Dodge Charger breaks the top 5, and Abby Este and Haroon Woodward are the other drivers from this episode to crack the top 10. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Red Bull Matchbox Race 2020.